Most people live their whole lives unaware of the real power they hold. They react to life instead of creating it, waiting for something outside of them to change, never realizing that the change begins within. But what if I told you reality isn't something that you face, but something you form? In the book, The Divine Matrix, Gregg Braden reveals 20 timeless keys that show you exactly how. These aren't just ideas, they're instructions for conscious creation. If you want to get the whole book, then the link is top of the description. This book reveals the scientific experiments that have finally caught up with what ancient wisdom has been saying all along. That we're not just observing reality, we're shaping it. It's the bridge between quantum physics and spiritual truth. And these 20 keys reveal how we can use that bridge to transform our lives from the inside out. Key 1. The divine matrix is the container that holds the universe, the bridge between all things, and the mirror that shows us what we have created. Now, what does this mean? The divine matrix is like an invisible field that connects everything. From the tiniest atom to the furthest star. It's not just empty space. It's alive, intelligent, and responsive. Think of it as a container. It holds everything. The universe exists within it, not outside it. A bridge. It connects everything. Time, space, you, me, the stars, all linked instantly. A mirror. It reflects our inner world, beliefs, emotions, and intentions, and shows them back to us as outer reality. This is the field that mystics have spoken of for centuries. Today, science is beginning to catch up, calling it the quantum field or zero-point energy. And the key truth here is this: we're not separate from this field. We're inside it, and it's inside us. Key 2. Everything in our world is connected to everything else. At the deepest level, separation is an illusion. Everything, every thought, action, and intention is part of an interconnected web. This means that nothing exists in isolation. Every choice you make, every feeling you experience, ripples out and affects the whole universe. When you understand this, you realise what you do in one part of your life can impact another, even in ways that you might not immediately see. Key 3. To tap into the universe itself, we must see ourselves as part of the world rather than separate from it. We're not passive observers, we're active participants in the quantum field. Our consciousness shapes reality, and true power comes from connection, not control. If you want to learn more about this and the science that backs it up, then a playlist will be on screen at the end of the video with all the videos I've made on this book. Key 4. Once something is joined, it is always connected, whether it remains physically linked or not. At the beginning of everything, whatever your beliefs are, whether the Big Bang or a divine source, all of existence was one unified energy or thing. Everything that exists today stems from that original connection. Because everything was once joined, everything remains connected through the field that links all things. What some call the quantum field, the divine matrix, the ether, or the web of life. Entanglement is not just a phenomenon in quantum physics. It reflects this deeper truth. What you connect with through love, intention, or even pain continues to resonate with this field. For example, in an experiment in the book, human DNA was separated by hundreds of miles from the body, but still reacted instantaneously with the emotion of the person that it came from. This shows that connection persists across space and time, and that the bonds we create continue to influence us even after physical separation. Key 5. The act of focusing our consciousness is an act of creation. Consciousness creates. Where you place your attention, you direct your creative power. What you focus on, you feed. Just like in the double slit experiment, where your observation changes the behaviour of particles, our focused attention shapes the world around us. Every thought, every intention is a seed that influences the fabric of reality. Key 6. We have all the power we need to create all the changes we choose. There is no lack of power, only a lack of belief in our own power. You don't need permission to change your life. You already have everything you need. Key 7. The focus of our awareness becomes the reality of our world. Your external world is a mirror of your internal attention. Shift your focus and your world begins to shift with it. What you consistently focus on grows. Key 8. To simply say that we choose a new reality is not enough. Words alone are powerless without the energy of emotion, embodiment, and belief. True choice comes from living the change, not just thinking about it. You can't just talk about what you want because that's a state of lack. You must embody it, feel it, and align your actions with your desires. It's the emotional energy behind the choice that fuels its manifestation. Key 9. Feeling is the language that speaks to the divine matrix. Feel as though your goal is accomplished and your prayer is already answered. This goes beyond visualization. It's about being in the end result. When you truly feel the fulfillment of your desires, you activate the process that brings them into form. It's not enough to imagine your dream life. You must live it emotionally in the present moment and feel it deeply in your body as if it's already yours. Key 10. Not just any feeling will do. The ones that create must be without ego and judgment. Authentic feelings rooted in love, gratitude, and humility create true transformation. Fear, doubt, and ego distort the signal we send to the universe. Key 11. We must become, in our lives, the things that we choose to experience as our world. To see peace, be peace. To receive love, become love. Reality is a reflection of who you are, not just what you want. To create the life you desire, embody the qualities you seek. The external world mirrors your internal state. What you radiate is what you attract. Key 12. We are not bound by the laws of physics as we know them today. Just because something hasn't been proven or measured by current science doesn't mean it's impossible. Consciousness has the power to transcend the limitations of physical reality. The true nature of reality is far beyond what science has measured so far. And as we expand our consciousness, we can bend the rules that govern the physical world. Key 13. In a holographic something, every piece of the something mirrors the whole something. So what this means is you are not a fragment, you are the whole, expressed in a unique form. Change one part of yourself, and the entire reality you experience begins to shift. In a holographic universe, every part reflects the whole. When you transform one piece of your being, your thoughts, emotions, or actions, you create ripples that affect the entire structure of your reality. Key 14, and this is a long one, so I'm going to read it. The universally connected hologram of consciousness promises that the instant we create our good wishes and prayers, they are already received at their destination. Distance and time are illusions in the quantum field. The moment you set an intention or make a prayer, it is already felt by others, places, and the universe itself. Your intentions transcend space and time, immediately entering the field, where they begin to work toward their manifestation. And this again reminds me of the experiment that I mentioned earlier, where the cell was separated from the human body by hundreds of miles. However, when an emotion was present in the actual human body, the cell showed signs of that emotion instantaneously, the exact same time, without delay. So that's faster than the speed of light. This proves that something deeper connects them, something beyond distance, beyond time. Key 15. Through the hologram of consciousness, a little change in our lives is mirrored everywhere in our world. Small shifts in our inner world create waves of change in our outer world. Never underestimate the power of subtle changes in our perception. A tiny shift in awareness can reverberate through your entire reality, affecting your relationships, opportunities, and even the broader world around you. Key 16, and I'm going to put all this on screen because there's figures and information and facts and studies, so it's best just put it on screen where you can read it as well. The minimum number of people required to jumpstart a change in consciousness is the square root of 1% of a population. Now this is actually huge, and this means that people think not just me will make a change, but it can, and if you then can bring other people, small groups of people, into this as well, then eventually you're going to make a worldwide change because of this that I'm going to tell you. You don't need a massive group to create massive change. A small focused group of people, united in intention and heart, can spark global transformation. Even a few aligned individuals can create a ripple effect that spreads across the world, raising consciousness on a massive scale. This idea is reflected in real-world studies like the Maharishi effect. In 1972, in 24 US cities with populations over 10,000, groups practicing transcendental meditation, often just around 1% of the population, so that'd be 100 people, led to significant decreases in crime rates, accidents, and other indicators of societal stress. Similarly, the International Peace Project in the Middle East found that during periods when groups meditated for peace, there were measurable reductions in conflict, violence, and casualties. These experiments show that even a relatively small group of people, when united by shared vision and coherent intention, can shift reality for entire populations. Now, in the final keys, the divine matrix shows us how our deepest beliefs sculpt not just our world, but the love, trust, and peace we experience every day. Key 17. The divine matrix serves as the mirror in our world of the relationships that we create in our beliefs. What this means is what we believe about love, power, and self-worth is reflected in every relationship we have. Our world mirrors our inner beliefs, revealing the truth of what we hold inside. Again, the book goes deeply into this and it gets kind of complicated, but it's saying that the guy that actually wrote the book, I can't remember if it was himself he was telling us about or someone else, but anyway, he had issues with people in his life and with partners, etc. And he found out that they had the issue that he had an issue with himself, if you know what I mean. So the things that he didn't like in other people, the people in his life ended up having those things. Key 18, and a long one that I'm going to read. The root of our negative experiences may be reduced to one of three universal fears: abandonment, low self-worth, or lack of trust. All of our inner wounds stem from these core fears. Healing begins with recognizing which fear we're carrying, and apparently near enough everyone has one of these fears. So like I said, healing begins with recognizing which fear we're carrying and consciously choosing to release it. And then once we understand the source, we can break the cycle and transform our experiences. Key 19. Our true beliefs are mirrored in our most intimate relationships. The closest connections we have reflect our deepest truths, not just what we say we believe. These relationships act as sacred mirrors, showing us the real reflection of our inner world. They reveal where we need healing and growth. Key 20. We must become in our lives the very things that we choose to experience in our world. So that's really just repeating the importance of one of the keys higher up, that to manifest peace, you have to be peace, or to experience abundance, you have to embody abundance, and that you are the signal that attracts the experiences you seek. This is the full circle of conscious creation. What you are is what you draw into your reality. Almost universally, we sense something magical within us, that we are more than flesh and bone, more than memory and mind, and maybe we are. If the very particles we're made of can transcend time, space, and limitation, why can't we? Perhaps the secret isn't to become something new, but to remember what we are. The miracle, the artist, the canvas, all in one. You're not here to just survive, you're here to create. When you really think about what we're here for, deeply, you start to rethink your life completely. So become the miracle, especially when it feels impossible. That's when the universe begins to move. If you want to buy the book, then the link is top of the description. If you learnt something new, then please like and subscribe to keep learning. If you know anyone that's interested in this kind of content, then please share this to them, because it really helps me out. If you want to watch any of my other videos I've made on this book, then their playlist will be on screen now. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one. And remember, stay positive even when it seems everything is against you.